multi-talented feels like a great blessing until it becomes that same thing that holds you back. At that point, it becomes a curse. You know you are gifted and you can do so many things, but the one thing you lack is clarity. And because you don't have clarity, you tend to dabble all over the place, you tend to overthink, and in the process, nothing gets done. If this feels like you, then this video is for you. A few years ago, when I was thinking of monetizing my skill set, the problem I faced was which of the skill set was I going to monetize? Because I see myself as someone who is multi-talented. I have a wealth of experience. I'm multi-skilled, and I felt like, okay, which one do I want to do? And then I'll spend the first month trying to, really hone in on this skill. And before you know it, the other skill will be like, you know what? Why are you not thinking about me? And then I start thinking of that other skill. And then before you know it, the third skill is like, wait, hold on, don't let me go. And before you know it, time just kept going and I did not get anything done until I made up my mind and said, you know what? Even though I am skilled in so many ways and in so many areas, I am going to pick one thing that makes sense. I'm going to say goodbye to all of those things for now. I'm going to focus on this one thing. And once this one thing starts to work really well, then I'll come back and pick the next best thing. And that's what I want you to focus on, because that same blessing of being multi-skilled could also be that curse that will hold you back. And I know that so many of us working professionals, we have been thinking of, okay, how can I build multiple streams of income for myself? How can I do something different with the skill sets that I have? And the minute we pick up our pen and paper to start writing down things, we get stuck because we are drowned with the opportunities before us. Now, today, I want to share my 3D framework that made life super easy. This framework did not only give me clarity, but this framework actually helped me get into action. Now, the first thing you need to realize before we even get into the actual framework is this. Even though you're skilled in so many ways, one of the disservice you would do to yourself is try to monetize at the same time. Remember, we need energy. You need to put in energy into that work to be able to see the fruit of your labor. It's like you're trying to work at multiple places at the same time. You can't give your best. The same thing applies to even your personal life and the skills you're trying to monetize. All of the skills, they need watering. They need you to focus on them. They need the necessary attention to grow. Okay, so even though you have a lot of skill set, you have to focus, right? And that's where the first D in my framework comes to play. Desire. What do you actually desire? Now, there are so many skills that you have, but all of them are not rated equal. You love some over others, correct? Because for me, there's some skill sets that I have that I don't love as much as others, right? And so that then gives you a way to focus, right? What is that skill that you love to do, whether you are paid for it or not? Would you wake up to do this thing over and over again? In my own situation, something that you would wake me up from my sleep and I would do without blinking is teaching. I love to teach. I love to transfer knowledge to people. I love to see successful people around me. I love to see people live in their best life, in every possible way. And I'm always grateful when I find myself in a position to be able to create that pathway for the next person to be successful, right? Even though I have multiple skills, I'm very good when it comes to interior designs. I'm very good in other ways. This is one skill so that I know that you can wake me up from my sleep and I'll be more than willing to do. The same applies to you. I'm sure that there is that skill set that you desire so much. I want you to prioritize that skill set and put it on top of your list. Because guess what? Even though it's possible for you to monetize, in a short period, sometimes when you're doing something that you don't love as much, you're not passionate about it, and the slightest issue that's going to come up may make you give up, right? And the reality is that life is not smooth, right? We're going to have our ups, we're going to have our downs. And so when you're working on something that you're passionate about, it keeps you going, it keeps you moving, because you know what? At the end of the day, this is something I really love. And besides the fact that I want to get paid for it, I'm still delighted at the opportunity of being a blessing to the next person. So desire is super important. So in the list of skill set that you have, what is that one skill set that you desire the most? That's the skill that I want you to get started with today. Now, those are the skill sets. They're going to be hollering, you're going to be shouting and screaming, and you're going to feel guilty. You're like, okay, why am I not picking this skill over the next one? Make sure that you settled with yourself that this is something you desire, after which you've already validated that idea and you know that it's possible for this idea to be monetized. You've done your research on people who are already walking in this path and they've monetized it and good things are working for them. So you're able to know that the market is there, the demand is there, and the market is big enough for you to be able to thrive, right? Once you're finalized in that, settle with yourself and tell yourself, you know what? In a year's time, I'll come back and pick up the next skill set and I'll work on you. So just give me a break right now. I want to focus on this one skill. And it's going to be life changing for you because at this point, actually be able to take action and you'll be able to move those ideas from your head into paper and get to work. And that's what you need because no matter how we think of these things up in our head, if we don't put them to work, nothing is going to change for us. And then this year will go, next year will come, and you'll still be thinking of how to monetize your skill. And that's not where we want to be. We want to take action and do something about our skill set this year. Now, once you're settled with your desire, the next step in the framework is demand. There has to be demand for your desired skill set. And I mentioned it just a few minutes ago that you want to make sure that people are already in that space. You want to make sure that when you do your research, there is money to be made in this skill set because the difference between a hobby and a business is money. The fact that people are able to pay you for it. Okay. And so you just don't want to chase your desires at the expense of the possibility of making it a business. You just don't want to chase, a desire where there is no demand. And it might be the fact that maybe there's no demand right now for it. There might be demand tomorrow, right? But since we're focused on monetizing our skill set, we're focused on building an extra source of income for ourselves, and we're not looking at leaving our job. We just want to have another stream. It's important that we're not spending all of this energy on a desired skill set that's not going to bring in money. So demand is super important. So please, while you're prioritizing your skill set, once you desire that skill set, ensure that there is a demand for that desire. Once there's a demand for it, then go for it. If there is no demand for your desire, then move to the next skill set that you enjoy, given the fact that there's an actual demand for it. Now, the third step in my 3D framework is delivery, right? It's possible for you to desire a skill set. It's possible for that to be a demand. Can you deliver a transformation on this skill? It's very important because if you've been following my journey and you've watched many of my videos, you hear me say it over and over again. It is not the actual skill set that matters. What matters is the transformation that you can do to the next person with that skill set. Okay, good enough, you can talk, but what can you do with your talk? Good enough, you can write. What can you do with your writing? Good enough, you can design. What transformation can your design give to me? Okay? That's what is important. So you want to make sure that this skill set is not only something that I desire. This skill set is not only something that there's a demand out there for it. This is a skill set that I can actually deliver a transformation that will affect the next person. That is where the money is. And if you're not confident that you can deliver results on that skill set, then please pick the next skill set that you can deliver on. And so this 3D framework is super important because you have to check everything on each of these areas. Do you have a desire for it? Is there a demand for it? And can you deliver exceptional results in that area? So now let's do a quick walkthrough to drive this home. So let's say that, for example, you love to give career advice, right? This is something you desire, you love to do it. You can do that in your sleep. Okay, desire, check. All right. Now, is there a demand for it? Do we have career coaches out there? Are people making money out of it? Yes, check. Okay, now when it comes to delivery, who have you helped deliver results to? Have you coached a friend? giving some great career advice where it turned out and really helped that person? Was that person able to land a job? Was that person able to get a promotion? What transformation was your advice able to do in the life of that person? If you're able to check that, then you are ready to monetize that skill. And that's where I want you to start from. Is that clear? If you're not able to answer all of these questions, then pick the next skill set that you're able to answer. And until you're able to certify that you are correct in each of these areas, do not move forward, because I want this to be a smooth ride for you. And so it's better for you to get the foundation right so life could just go as smoothly as it can possibly go. Listen, you do not need to have it all figured out. You just need to know what you need for today and get started. So pick that one skill, run you through this 3D framework. Once you're able to get a check mark in each of those areas, just keep it moving. And as you move, you're going to uncover more things that would help you in your journey and help you achieve your goals of monetizing your skill set. Thank you very much for spending another time with me today. It's been an amazing day. I love you all so much, and I cannot wait to catch you in my next video. Bye.